Hey everybody, welcome to sensing number 7. We keep moving the furniture around, so I'm never sure where I ought to be, but I'll figure it out. This is Valpolicella, and we're so thrilled to have today Wilson.
Yay! Yay!
Yay! And Wilson is a very famous celebrity here in Greenville, South Carolina, as in Wilson's on Washington. So you'll have to come and find out why.
Yes.
And my hair may have something to do with it, if you like it. He's the guy. But he really likes Valpolicella. And he really likes Italy, and he's traveled to Italy, and he's been buying wine from Italy, tasting wine in Italy, and having a wonderful time. So anyway, we did a little homework, and we decided to do 3 different levels of Valpolicella. There are several different styles. We'll talk about that. But we wanted to stop for a minute. If you want to have a virtual sensing with us, you may want to stop this film right now, go get these wines or one similar, and then come back and join us. And that would be a really cool thing to do. That's a lot of fun. But anyway, we've got clearly these 3, and they're pretty reasonably priced. But overall, the curriculum is that we want to learn one grape at a time by tasting 3 different regions of that grape. In this case, 3 different classifications of the same grape. This grape is Corvina. That's the basic grape in Valpolicella. But their levels are Classico, Superior, and Ripasso. We're going to be using the University of California 20-point system. That's the way I was taught when I first learned about wine. I had a blind taste and really appreciate it. And it really covers the senses. It's visual, it's the nose, it's in the mouth, it's the feel of the mouth, not just the taste. And you're going to learn how to describe each dimension using standard wine terminology. We have a red wine wheel here that's kind of our cheat sheet that gives us things to trigger our senses. Say, gee, I can't quite put my finger on it. What berry is that? I'm not sure. But one thing we're going to do also, this time I hope you can see the whiteboard better. We're changing our ink. But don't worry, at the end, we're going to throw all this into Excel, and we'll bring it up at the end. So you'll be able to see exactly how we ended up scoring every one of them and all of our comments. But you'll be hearing our comments all the way along the way. So at any rate, you're going to learn this one grape, one at a time, and you're going to have fun. That's what this is all about, aside from just developing some new skills. Overall, generically speaking, if you're doing a red wine sensing, the colors of the wine are going to go from a spectrum from pink all the way to tawny brick. The nose is going to be from fruity floral all the way to oaky if it's aged in oak a lot. The Valpolicella, I've highlighted the areas that I think we're probably going to discover. More lighter purplish red in color, more fruity, floral, spicy, probably not any oak in these. And then anything else having to do with the nose and the mouth can have been created by the winemaker. So anything's up for that. This red wine type, this was a new one for me. I didn't realize this was the basic grape in a Valpolicella. Did you, Wilson?
Yes.
You knew that?
Yes.
Wow, shows me. Gosh.
I'm learning more though.
Oh. This one, in terms of an overall category of red wine, this one classifies similar to Beaujolais, and it would be considered fresh, fruity, low tannin. And I've listed the 5 different levels of Valpolicella. We had an interesting discussion about it because I ran into a couple issues tasting these wines earlier today. But we are trying to get level 2, 3, and 4. Level 1 sounds like it's pretty much grape juice, and the top level is a very sweet dessert wine. What?
Grape juice.
That's what it sounds like. It's a lightweight, grapey, not aged. I think it's probably like grape juice, Kool-Aid. At any rate, and we have a map. And the map is trying to show us where Valpolicella is. And I happen to have had the opportunity once to stay at Lake Garda. You've ever been up there?
Yes.
He's been up there?
Yeah. Lugano also.
Oh, wow. I have not been there.
In Verona.
I've been to Verona. But I was at Plaza Arzada. It's a resort on Lake Garda at one time. You can see the 2 wine regions, Valpolicella, to the east and north of Verona. So we got maps here. So the first wine, I'm gonna be going through the background on each wine. Then we're gonna stop and we're gonna do a visual inspection. And we'll go to the next, we'll go to the next. And then we'll come back and go all the way through each wine after that. At any rate,
Sounds good.
first level, Classico, is supposed to be a bright red, ruby red, something like that. Intense aroma, may get cherries and spices. The interesting thing to watch in these wines is percent of Corvina. The first one's 65. And it's 13% alcohol. It also says all these dishes they go well with, and the pasta and pizza, no surprise. The vintage rating for this one, it says it still could be tannic, could be slow to mature. This 2018, very young puppy. So what I'm gonna do against this white tablecloth is I'm gonna get rid of the slide. I'll say stop sharing. There we go. And here we are, everybody. And as usual, there are animals walking around, keep it interesting. But, okay. What color would you say that is?
It's a dark red, ruby.
Yeah, I think it's very ruby.
It's the color of a garnet stone, isn't it?
A garnet is, I think, an excellent term for it. And it's got tears on the sides of the glass.
Oh, yeah.
To connect and give you some idea of what it might be, how big the body might be in the mouth. But it's the youngest, so it's probably going to be the most brilliant color. I'm going to go to the second one. Now, this is Classico Superior. It has to be aged in oak barrels for no less than, I think it's 1 year. Fruity notes of cherries and plums again. 85% Corvina. And 13.5% alcohol. This one says it pairs well with cheeses, charcuterie, and we have here today. I've read these wines are supposed to go well with Parmesan, and I don't know how to slice up Parmesan. So we've got some shaved Parmesan.
That's good.
And it said blue cheese, and it said chocolate.
Ooh.
And these are Parmesan crackers. Okay, so when we get to the tasting in the mouth, I think we'll do a good deal on Parmesan one way or the other. This one, the year, says 88E. It says above average to excellent, which kind of means it may not age real well. But let me go ahead.
It has a real earthy clay color to this red to me.
A little tinge of orange in it or something.
Yeah.
That's what you
It's
write.
not nearly as bright a color.
Now, the other one we decided was what?
The color, I said garnet. The clarity is beautiful.
On one?
On the first one, yes. And Classico.
Okay, then in Superior, I think
It has an earthier color.
little tinge of
And
orange.
probably a little bit of a Sangiovese, see a Dan
Sangiovese.
A look to it to me.
Oh, wow. Chianti look. And it has Sangiovese in it, right?
Yeah, it's a little browner grape.
Yeah. Huh, amazing. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, and now we're going to talk about the pièce de résistance is going to be Ripasso,
Yes.
from everything I've read.
You haven't had it before.
No.
You're going to have a new favorite.
It's just,
For a Chardonnay lady.
he did it. Okay. Whew. Okay. An aging phase is carried out in oak barrels for at least 24 months. It's supposed to be ruby in color with garnet reflections. A bouquet of red fruit, spicy notes, harmonious and velvety. It's a unique wine, has its own distinct, defined personality. I think they take some of the drier grapes
Yes.
and blend it with them. Is that right?
I don't know. That's nice. That's what I've read.
When they start getting close to something that's going to be dessert wine or those special ones, they dry them. And this has a very good vintage rating. It's a 95R, outstanding, ready to drink. The only downside is it may not age if it's ready to drink. But Valpolicellos aren't really famous for long aging and drinking, are they?
They drink them as fast as they make them.
And they don't mind one bit.
They don't mind.
So what do you think about the color of this one and how does it move in the glass?
You know, it moves beautifully. It does. It's very smooth looking, but I see a definite black cherry look, the color.
Black cherry and big body. Bigger. Bigger body. All right, now we have to go back and go all the way through with number one, which is fun. Excuse me, little puppy dog. Okay. Now what we're going to do now is go in the aroma. And a couple things we want to know here. One, what fruit are you picking up, if any?
Strawberry.
Whoa.
I don't know. Nice. What do you think?
Earlier today, I thought I was getting raspberry.
Raspberry?
Yeah.
It's some type of a berry. You do very well. I can't spell when I go to write on the film.
We talked about putting this on like something on the computer and somebody's writing on it, but I'm not going to write it. I'm not going to write it. Okay, here, nobody will see it. So now people are going to see it. So the next thing is, now that you've seen the color and you've seen how it moves in the glass and you're getting that fruit, what do you think it's going to be like in the mouth?
You know, you threw me with the Beaujolais word when you first started. So I'm going to really be interested to see what it's like in the mouth.
Well, you know about Valpolicellos. So what do you think it's going to be like? You think it's going to have, you think it's going to drop off real fast, there's not going to be much in the mouth? You think it's going to
that young? Probably not. Probably it will just probably drop right off.
So I think there's going to be a lot of neat fruit. I'm hoping for a lot of neat fruit being this young. Okay, let's find out. A little tinge of tartness.
It's definitely tart.
And it does seem thinner in the mouth than I thought it would be.
It's definitely not a heavy grape at all. It's a small grape too, isn't it? Isn't the Corvina a small grape?
I can't find much on it. I should look it up. I don't know how big it is. This is a dry wine, wouldn't you say?
It's definitely.
Body is kind of thin on this one.
Very thin.
And what fruit are you getting in the mouth? Much of anything?
No. It's light. It's a light flavored fruit.
And it's not real dry in the mouth. There's no tannin in there. And I don't know if I get acidity.
I get a little bit of acidity.
But I was going to show the bottles And I haven't done that, but I forgot to, excuse me, bring us back. Because we've been, had the slide up there. Okay, sorry, everybody. You didn't get to see us walk through that, but at any rate, strawberry thin, some acidity. Gonna try it with something Parmesan cracker or something. If they think the pairing is good. And the thing I wanted to do is
This really is a good appetizer wine.
it's good appetizer wine.
I think so.
This is that wine, okay? Very pretty bottle. The label's on these, and everything in script. Italiano, Allegro. Okay, I need to give this to the executive producer so she can have some here and try it. This is part of our deal here. So,
Very nice, isn't it?
You
It
tried
pairs
that?
well. I had this.
It's Parmesan. It's like Parmesan, blue, tiramisu, and chocolate. With
All our favorites right there.
what? I don't have tiramisu. Okay. No, what was it? Did you think? Well, one of the things we do is we evaluate it overall, and kind of say, was the nose in sync with the mouth? I'm thinking the nose promised something that didn't come through in the mouth, particularly all that nice berry. Is that fair? You agree?
I like the taste better than I like the smell.
Ah, you like the subtle fruit.
Yes,
So, but it was still out of balance.
it's balanced.
Was balanced or not?
I think it is balanced.
Oh, you
Yeah,
think it is balanced? But you say you like one better than the other.
I do like I like the mouth better than the nose, but you like the nose, don't
You're
you?
saying they're not. You're saying they're not in sync. You still like it.
I like it. I like the taste.
He likes the taste, but
It's not my favorite smell.
But I guess I'd question if it's balanced, because if it's balanced, there should be a synchronization
Oh,
between
okay.
this guy and this guy. So I'd say I question that. I'll put 'em on there.
Maybe.
But you can still like this. And say,
Yes.
"Hey, I'm going to give this a plus. We'll come back and rate it. But you really like the mouth. And you could sip that in front of the fireplace.
That's right.
And you wouldn't mind one bit.
Not at all.
Not at all. We ran into that with it. You like that?
Yes, low acidity. That's what I like about it.
We did, what was the wine we did with you? Nebbiolo
Mhm.
from Italy.
And it was the earlier years, that the ones that hadn't aged enough were very acidic, and they had lots of tannin to it.
Now this one is going to be, that one is 13%, so 13.5%. This has more Corvina, and it's a year older. And we thought that it had more of an earthy color and that more of the Sangiovese darker grape. Now, what about in the nose? There's the aroma and the bouquet. The aroma is the fruit. The bouquet is what the winemaker did. And I don't worry about the distinction as much as what's the fruit. Is it more subtle?
I think it's subtle.
Subtle dark cherry? Or what? You can't taste it yet.
I already snuck a taste.
You can't do that. No.
My nose made me do it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Those two just got, before you do it, you have to say what you think it's going to taste like. And what do you think it's like in the mouth and the nose? What did they tell you it's going to be like? When you?
I believe it's going to be more tart.
More tart.
Yeah, I
This
do.
guy just said it was tart, and I didn't know that.
It has a little stronger smell.
You think it's going to be tart? Do you think it's going to have a lot of fruit? Do you think it's going to be big in the mouth? Do you think that finish is going to last?
I think the fruit. It has to be bigger than the Classico. It has
What's out
to.
then? All right, now we'll see if you're right. But it looks so pretty in the glass, the way it moves.
Ah. Ah. Cheers.
We'll be back later, folks. We're sorry about this brief interruption. But, and here's the bottle, the Zanato, which has always been one of my favorite Pinot Grigios. Zanato mix. You like this one, Senor?
I do.
Signore. Why do you like it? I think it's bigger in the mouth.
It's a little more acidic.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
I think the body is bigger.
I do too.
Isn't that a lovely body?
It's not thin. It's definitely
I think it's lovely.
lovely.
It's still dry.
Dry.
Not so tart.
Mm-mm.
Now, the body and the mouth, did it have much of a finish? Did it cover the whole tongue? Did it last for a long time? Was it kind of a medium finish?
I think it's medium. What do you think?
I think so. Robin?
Yeah, it was, it's really nicely balanced, I think. And it really is not too acidic, but it has a little bit more to it. Yeah, so it's like a good wine.
I think they're lovely. And what about fruit? What are you getting in the mouth? Plum? Dark cherry?
Yeah, plum.
You like plum?
Yeah, I think it's more plum. It's a beautiful color when you're swishing it around and you're seeing through the light coming through the window.
Tears and that, but it just has a lovely body the way it moves in the glass. Because you compare it like with the first one. The first one is more of a watery thing. What this got. And I think like there's like $1 difference. But we'll get to that. Okay, now number 3. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't finish here. Robin thinks it's balanced. Do you think it's balanced?
I do.
Okay, so there's fruit promised in the nose that's carried through.
I do. I think it's balanced.
And we don't have any astringency or tannin. Flavor is much bigger and more delightful. Bigger fruit.
Yes.
Okay, now this one is really the technique they make it. There's the ultimate is, have you ever heard of Amarone?
Yes.
You had Amarone.
Yes.
Do you like Amarone?
I love it.
Okay. No, I had a debate with Mr. Grupp, who was our boss at one point. And he just loved it. And I said, it's a port. You're drinking a port. This isn't a wine.
I hadn't thought about that.
It's a port. And we were eating once up in Niagara Falls, you know, where you've been wine tasting and stuff and working. And he was teasing me, and he just said, oh, I think for dinner, we're going to order a bottle of that Amarone because it's just so lovely with food on it. What do you have by the glass? I did. And I went to the ladies' room and came back. He was just kidding me because he wanted to give me a hard time because he knew I had, it's port. I want port with my meal. Are you crazy? But and everybody else who loves Amarone is going to kill me, and you're going to kill me. But it's nice, but I think it's humongous.
It's big.
Yeah, and it's rich. Okay, numero 3, Ripasso. It's starting to head toward Amarone, the way they're making this wine. I will show the bottle. It's a very pretty bottle, and it's an auto too. They're very nice, but they don't show the alcohol content in the front. You have to find it in the fine print around the back. And again, remember, like we talked about in America, we put our grape on the front and our appellations, and they do not do that in Europe. Okay, now we said this was a black cherry color, bigger body, the way it moved in the glass. What are you getting in the nose? Whoa, that's powerful.
It has a hit. It hits.
That is a powerful nose.
I believe it's going to be acidic.
You do. You can't taste it yet.
I'm not.
So I'm gonna write
I
one link
learned.
that, and what's the fruit you're getting in the nose?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think it is?
I keep getting close to this dark cherry, between dark cherry and plum. Let me look for this again. This one's, oh, I think it's got alcohol in it.
It's amazing what 1% alcohol, how it smells.
Oh yeah. I think I'm getting dark plum.
It has a real woodsy smell to me.
Woodsy. Ooh, cool. I like woodsy. All right, now what do you think it's going to be like in the mouth? It's going to have a big body? Do you think it's going to long finish? All over the tongue?
Well, by the smell, I believe it's going to have a long finish.
His body too looks big.
Yeah, it's not nearly as see-through.
No, not as transparent as the other wines. And that's an interesting thing when you're blind tasting, is to first look if you can see through it. All right, you ready?
Set. Cheerio, mate.
It's rich.
It is very rich.
And fruity.
I can see how you would get a port taste out of that. You might pick that up, but it's not there.
It's not Amarone level. This is Ripasso. It's not Amarone. So, but
It's
this,
definitely heavier. You'd have that with darker meat.
oh yeah, sure. But it's rich.
Your mushrooms and all.
There's some white wines that I find very rich and very difficult to eat with food because they're in the foreground. They're not in the background. And this guy's rich. I love it.
I could drink this all night. Well, as long as I could.
Rich. Bigger body. Right?
Big body. Still no acid. Not much at all. Did you get any much acid?
I don't think that's one of my strengths, is detecting acid. What I love is that only the first wine had tartness. These other ones have not. Dry. Yeah, but this one is soft. It's round. It's soft. I can't say elegant. French wines are kind of elegant because there's a thinner silkiness to them. But this one, I think, is soft and round.
It brings out the love, baby.
In the round meaning, I think I'm getting more of a finish around the tongue. Do you like blue cheese?
I do.
There's blue. It was listed like this. Oh, that's so good. I'll try one else.
Mmm. Very nice cheese.
Really good. What's that? New Harris Teeter. Wade Hampton?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Robin?
It's really interesting because the first sip is, we had that sweetness to it, but after I've had a few more, that sort of dissipates and it becomes more fuller body from that.
That's an interesting point. It's certain the way it hits your tongue. You got different glass than we do too. because Riedel is supposed to put the wine in the perfect place on the tongue for that wine. And we're doing Pinot Noir glasses, which is what they recommend for Beaujolais and the Policello. And she's got the Cabernet Sauvignon glass. It could be placing it slightly differently. But this is, it's big, it's rich, it's really nice, it's filling. But I still don't get a long finish, but it's very delightful in the mouth. Can you think?
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I like with chocolate. It's number 2 earlier today. I got a little chocolate on it.
What'd you think?
Number 2, the bouquet is changing.
You had some sugar.
Which ones are number 2? Try the bouquet again. That's not the bouquet. It's the nose. It's changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting earthy. Why is it doing that? Why are you doing that, Robin?
Well, I think a lot of wines, there's a.
It's that standing
a
ovation.
little bit. It becomes.
Richie color is now coming through the nose.
The bouquet of the first one didn't change. Go back and smell that.
I love when that happens. That's what's always a good idea to do that. Okay, now, do we think number 3 is balanced between the nose and the mouth? What the nose promises, the mouth delivers.
I think it's the most balanced.
I think it's wonderful. So, yeah. Okay. And then we need to score them. Astringency now. What about fruit in number 3? What are you getting in the mouth?
I just don't know.
I got a little bit of raspberry.
What did you get, Robin?
Yeah, it was a little bit of sweetness that I would classify as more like raspberry. Very soft raspberry, not very harsh or big.
Okay, and of course we don't have any tannin in there, and we think it's balanced. Okay, first thing I'll ask before we worry about points is, what was your favorite?
My favorite, the Ripasso.
Ripasso, okay. And your second favorite was?
Superior.
Right, and no wine, well, the whole system is kind of skewed to higher scores, but to be 20, you'd have to be the best vintage, the best year, the best winemaker, yada, yada, yada. So the scores are probably going to be somewhere between 16 and 19. In that regard, you give what Ripasso a 19?
I don't know that I'd give it a 19. I'd probably give it an 18.
You give it an 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
You give it a 19?
No. I'm not an experienced Valpolicella taster, so you got me on this one. I have to admit, when I opened these earlier today, just to make sure we didn't have a big problem, I was really impressed with number 2. And I think maybe it was the money, but what also was just, wow, that was really good. But I'll explain in a minute. Well, I'll explain to everybody else, and then we'll verify it later. This wine was supposed to have been wine number 2. and it costs like $25 compared to that one for 28 and this one for 13. I happened to pick up another one in the similar classification about the same time. When I opened this one up today, it was orange in color. It was thin. There was nothing there. And so I said, wait a minute, let me go see if the classification was I could substitute this other bottle that I had, which I could. And then I tasted it and went, oh my goodness. This is like 13 something, this is like 14 something. This is like 29 something. So I went, whoa, that's why I didn't bring it in the first time around. I said, it's gotta be no good. But I was very impressed with that. Like that a lot. And the other thing too is I sometimes think about food, but all these are Italiano.
Yeah.
They mean pasta and any great dish. So I just think I like this one. But the last time my mind changed totally from the early tasting when I opened them first to the one when we were finally tasting, because they open up and they change. But I think that one is rich, wonderful, big. But number two, this happened in last station too, but number two got more earthy. This in the mouth is getting more earthy and in the nose.
I agree.
Do you believe that? That's what's fun. So plum is going to earthy over time. That makes it fall in the category of complex.
Ah, a new word.
We like a bouquet that's complex. We like something in the mouth that's complex. Then go, oh, wow, wait a minute. Hold on, it's changing again. So that's very good. So, what points do you think we should give number two?
I'm going to say I'm going to give it a tie of 18.
Whoa, I don't know.
You want to change?
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to talk you into
No,
that
no.
because I'm being a cheerleader for this. Because I think this one's probably,
I'm definitely a heavy, full-bodied wine person.
okay. When you bought Valpoliccinos in Europe, or bought them to bring home, which style did you buy?
Ripasso,
You always did?
always.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I have not had a Classico.
Ah,
This is my first experience.
This is a Superior. Even better. But see, the thing that's,
But I will definitely do the Superior.
no, the thing I'm confused about is I thought the next level was Classico Superior. And that one bottle is Classico Superior. The Zenato is Superior. Apparently there's no such level Superior. So that was one of my confusions today. But anyway, we can still try to figure that out. But so you're a Ripasso person. I didn't know that. Well, that's good to know. Okay, but I'm not trying to push you into this one because that one is definitely worth the money. I just think this one is just interesting.
For the money, that's not bad at all. It's great.
What are you paying for when you buy them in Italy?
There's not much difference in the price
Oh, okay.
when you convert it from euros.
Okay. Because you're tasting them over there, you're buying over there. Sometimes they make it home and sometimes they don't. I remember the stories.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on your supplier that you buy from.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The more friendly they are, the less likely they are to get it to you.
What was it supposed to be, an umbrella?
Oh, yeah. It was napkin rings and an umbrella.
They had to lie when they were sending him. Crazy knows it. I wouldn't give it an 18 because it's just not one of the greatest Valpoliccinos on the planet. And this is big and rich and da-da-da-da-da. And if I can, but this is a different level. So I wouldn't give it an 18.
What are you thinking?
Well, I might give it a 17, 17.5.
Yeah.
In this rating.
I'm good. I'm happy with that rating.
Okay, now what about the baby?
I think it's very nice to start an evening.
Don't know if I could dance to it.
No. And I don't know that I'll ever buy it.
I don't think so.
I'm just not crazy about what the nose.
It's getting more floral
Yeah.
and fruity and not so terrific. Okay, so we're gonna give it like a 16.5. So I don't want to get into the 16. 16 is perfect.
Is it?
I give it 16. You taught me to do it. Okay, any surprises in these wines from the Valpolicella you've tasted before?
No. The surprise, well, I really can't tell you that I will probably, when I would have bought a Ripasso earlier only. Now that you've exposed me to this, the Superiore is delicious.
Isn't that delightful? Okay, we're gonna shut this off, and then I wanted to try the one that I pulled from the race today and see why I pulled this horse. And then we're gonna finish the rest of these goodies.
And see if it changed.
That would be very nice, because I hope it changed. That would be very good. Anyway, thank you all very much. And we're gonna end this and end it for all. I don't know about you, but I learned a lot on that Valpolicella tasting. And it was incredibly impressed with Wilson. He really knows this grape that's his favorite, and he's had the ability to travel around Italy and try different ones, and he really knows this. With respect to the first one, the Classico 2018, if you had that wine standalone, if we had it standalone, we'd say, well, it's a light, floral, aromatic, something, not that big in the mouth, drops off quickly, but hey, for just having with a meal outside summertime, might be a nice wine. But once you start moving into the more serious Corvina blends, you go, wait a minute, there's something really nice happening here. Number two, started getting, over time, more complex and more interesting. Earthy color, and Wilson called out the Sangiovese grape in it, causing that to happen. A nose, subtle dark cherry, it got earthy over time, more complex, not too tart, lovely plum. I'd say over time, this one was just getting more and more delightful in my book. But Wilson, who really knows Valpolicellos and apparently has always been a fan of Ripasso, just went berserk, I think, over number 3. But I also got the feeling he's had better ones, because he rated this like an 18. So my sense is, being an expert on Ripasso, he has had some from Italy that he's bought and brought home that are probably incredibly top-notch, and maybe cost a little more, don't know. But we probably differ a little bit. But I do think number 3 was very powerful in the nose, and that was really, really nice. So anyway, it's kind of nice to have a slight difference of opinion, but those last 2 wines I think are real keepers. Also, the other thing we're looking for is if you guys have anything that you'd like us to sense. We're thinking about Viognier sensing with 3 different regions. I was thinking about doing France, Washington State, and California. There are such distinct differences. But if there's anything else that you think we should try, give us a line. You've got our email at the end of these. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.